Hey, I'm Dr. Ferry, and in this video we will be covering the prototype and test phases of the human-centered design process. Let's start with prototypes. So out of ideate, we have our ideas and concepts. And then in prototype, we have to come up with a physical representation of it that we can then use to test. Let's start out with the terminology that they use in CreateX. And that's actually used in more broad methodology called lean entrepreneurship. And that is the minimum valuable product. It's a product with sufficient features that allows you to learn about the market. This is an initial prototype. It can test critical assumptions. Who's the customer? Does the customer have the need related to your idea? Does your solution fit the need? Are customers willing to pay for your solution? We're going to start our first prototype and we're going to call it an ugly MVP because it's going to be really simplistic type of rendition. And it could be a sketch or a simple rendering to convey your concept and how it might be used. You might create a narrative storyboard to ask potential users to review, like, for example, cartoon-like storyboard that illustrates a problem or solution and how the product works. And as an example, here's some past ugly MVPs. So over here, this is a portable work from home desk concept. And the thesis is people working from home use this setup to be more efficient in their workspace. Over here, this is another product. It is a portable white noise generator for travel. The thesis is travelers who have difficulty sleeping due to strange noises in an unknown environment use this device to sleep better. And over here we've got the third MVP. It's anti-fog glasses, spray in a bottle. So it's a trendy bottle. Thesis, people who wear glasses that fog up due to wearing a mask will buy this product to stop fogging glasses. And then over here, this is an example of a storyboard, for example. This is virtual reality remote meeting. And that includes VR glasses combined with remote meeting software. And the thesis is people who participate in online meetings will use this product to make meetings more interactive and more engaging. So these are examples of previous MVPs, ugly MVPs. Now that last ugly MVP was a little more complicated because the user was not actually the buyer. And in that particular case, you have to come up with a thesis for both the user and the buyer. The user would be like the employees in the company, and the customer, the person who would actually buy the product, would be the company itself, the people that are making decisions on what services are products to buy for the company. So those are two different things. And there's going to be a different proposition. Why would employees use the product? And then why would the company, the people in purchasing the company, buy the product? Now we want to enter the testing stage where we're testing our MVP. The steps you want to go through is you want to interview a variety of people in your customer group. And you're going to do two things as part of your test. One is for each ugly MVP thesis that you have, develop an associate set of hypotheses that supports it. If proven true, those hypotheses would provide confidence that your ugly MVP is filling a need and that people will buy it. The other thing you want to do is show people your actual ugly MVP and get some feedback on it. And then the outcome of this testing is like, are your hypotheses correct? So does that give you confidence that your thesis is correct? And how do people interact with or respond to the design? Let's look first at the hypothesis. And that is defined as being what must be true such that the thesis is true. It's a statement of belief. It can only be right or wrong, no commas or ands, and it's testable. As an example, 2 income married people will buy an automated expense tracking app because it improves their marriage. That's your thesis. So you have to come up with hypotheses that represent this. So example hypothesis for that thesis. Two-income married people regularly buy apps, mobile apps. They share a bank account. Money is a main source of frustration for for two-income married people. So these are hypotheses that, if proven true, would give you a lot more confidence that the thesis is. In other words, if hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2 and hypothesis 3, so on, are all true, then the thesis is probably true. So going back to how do you test this? Here's your hypothesis, and then you want to build your experiment. How will you discover if what you believe to be true, these hypotheses, are actually true? So you have to come up with questions that can be asked to run the experiment. As an example, your experiment is to interview 12 married people in a certain age group and ask about apps that they purchase. And the questions are right here that you might ask. And then you use those to determine if your hypotheses were true or not. The other type of testing that we talked about was actually showing them your MVP and getting some feedback on it. And so you interview the people and you start with the purpose and thank them, and you say, I'm gathering feedback on this product or service Y that is being developed to allow X to do Z, for example. And then you thank them for their help. This is an example script that you might use for this case that we've been talking about with the seniors who want to live on their own and they have the cell phone. And then you show them the actual prototype. For example, this is the cell phone, that's my product. And it's aimed at seniors who want to live on their own and they have some mobility problems or some disabilities. And this prototype is one that I created in PowerPoint. It's not a working prototype, it's just a picture. And so what you want to do is ask them some open-ended questions. What do you think about this? Where can you see yourself using it? How might we improve it? If it shows a user interface like this one, then you would explain the overall purpose of the device and ask them to describe and demonstrate how they might use it. You want to see what's intuitive and what isn't. And this is a whole area called human factors testing, how humans interacted with the devices that we build. And you watch and observe how they do that, and you learn from it. In this particular case, if you're interviewing them, active listening, ask clarification questions and follow-up questions. What you don't want to do is you don't want to ask them explicitly, do you like this? Or you don't want to defend it. You don't want to jump to showing them how to use it if it's not intuitive to them. The goal is to learn from them, not to convince them that your product is good. Be objective, open to contrary opinions. So in summary, at the prototype stage, we start out with an idea or concept, and we have to come up with a physical representation of it. So we've been using that, we've been calling it our ugly MVP or an MVP. And then the test results. Are the hypothesis true? That means your thesis is most likely true. And then qualitative feedback on the design itself. How did they respond and how did they interact with it? Thank you.